Hey there. From the very beginning of the Trump administration, it has been engaged in shocking levels of corruption. The lines between the White House and Trump's family businesses are paper thin. For the past 3 years, Trump's businesses, and most importantly, Trump's children, have been enriching themselves directly off of his presidency. Lobbyists who want his favor organize events at his hotels. The Saudi government in particular has dropped massive amounts of money on the Trump family's New York and DC properties. I expected all of this. What I did not expect was how little attention would be paid. Some of the basic reporting has been done. We know what's going on, and it's all straightforwardly illegal and even unconstitutional. That's right, there's a clause of the Constitution that says that this is not okay. Yet on CNN and even in impeachment proceedings, nobody is paying any attention to this stuff. Instead, we're supposed to focus on the difficult-to-follow and hard-to-prove Russia stuff that the intelligence community loves so much. We're leaving a lot of easy wins on the table. Like, have you even heard of Jared Kushner's alleged billion-dollar bribe? In 2007, Donald Trump's son-in-law made what is widely regarded as one of the worst real estate deals in New York history. He paid way too much for 666 Fifth Avenue, a not very impressive building, and to nobody's surprise, he failed to make any serious money off of it. A $1.4 billion mortgage payment was due in 2019, and there was a distinct chance that it would bankrupt the Kushner real estate empire. But in August of 2018, Brookfield Properties swept in and saved the day, taking out a 99-year lease on this shitty, overpriced building, paying $1.3 billion up front, and saving the Kushner family business. Guess who owns a significant chunk of Brookfield Properties? The Qatari Sovereign Wealth Fund. It's possible that this alleged bribe is the reason Saudi Arabia was not allowed to invade Qatar. It's also possible, though not particularly likely, that the Qatari government's denial that they were aware of the details is true. We don't know, because there's been no serious government investigation of what could very well be a billion-dollar bribe. Throughout the Trump administration, I have wondered, why are we letting these people get away with this? Well, now we know. The answer is Joe Biden. With the end of the Clintons' political careers, we've been able to talk a little more honestly about sexual harassment. The hope was that with them gone, we could also talk more seriously about that interaction of money and political power. Well, turns out we can't, because Joe Biden's brother and his son have built their entire business careers on Joe Biden's political career. To be clear, there has been no illegal activity proven, and I'd be surprised if any was, but no honest person can look at this and see anything other than corruption. There are many great profiles of the Biden family's nepotism and shady business deals, and I would urge you to read them, but people are focusing on two matters in particular. Republicans are actually doing the Bidens a favor by telling ridiculously exaggerated versions of these stories. No, Biden did not get a Ukrainian prosecutor fired to help his son, and no, the Chinese government did not give the Biden family $1.5 billion. But Hunter Biden was absolutely being paid to do nothing on the board of a Ukrainian oil company because he was the vice president's son. This active drug addict was absolutely doing private equity deals in China for no other reason than his last name. This isn't Trump-level criminality, but it remains very, very gross. Comparing the Trump family's crimes to the Biden family's corruption is a lot like comparing armed robbery to shoplifting. But would you hire a shoplifter to go after an armed robber? What the Biden family has done is distressingly common in Washington, D.C., and that's the problem. Nobody in Washington, D.C. wants to go after the Trump family because they don't want what they have done for their spouses and their children to be scrutinized. If Joe Biden becomes the Democratic nominee, then Trump's horrific, law-breaking corruption probably isn't going to be discussed much in the 2020 election campaign. That would be a tremendous missed opportunity because the other Democratic candidates that are remaining are surprisingly clean. Andrew Yang has never had a political job to abuse. Buttigieg is too young to have done much with his life, is married to an academic, and doesn't even have kids to do nepotism with yet. Klobuchar is married to an academic, and while it seems like her 20-something daughter is getting into politics, it's in New York, far away from her mom's Midwest power base. Warren is also married to an academic, and her kids are fairly low profile. I bet we will learn something ethically dubious involving help for Warren's businesswoman daughter this year, but it will be a stretch, and it won't won't involve Ukraine or cocaine, that's for sure. The Clintons and the Republicans have been trying for years to gin up a controversy around Bernie's wife, Jane O'Meara Sanders, and a university she failed to save, without much success. Sanders has also pointedly refused to support his son's attempt at a political career. Any of these folks could make a vastly more credible contrast to Trump family corruption than Joe Biden. I honestly feel kind of bad for Joe Biden here. There's no more human instinct than to try to take care of your kids and your family. I understand why some powerful people engage in nepotism, but not all powerful people do that. What the Biden family has done here is definitely corrupt, even if it's not illegal. Almost everybody else in the Democratic primary is better suited to lead an anti-corruption fight against Donald Trump. In that sense, at least, Joe Biden is actually the least electable Democratic candidate. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and come back next time when I will issue my official prediction for the 2020 election. Thanks.